back, and this is Look Who's Cooking. And today my guest is Phil Connolly, and I'm amazed. Phil is the first cook in his family. His wife is the second cook. She's the sous chef, can I say that? Okay, that's good. She's our audience today also. And Phil is going to do a couple of chicken dishes.
Several. We're going to start off with chicken with capers and black olives and tomatoes and marjoram, and then we'll do a sautéed or pan-roasted chicken breast, and then we'll make a zucchini and red pepper sauté, and we'll finish it all with pasta.
No dessert?
No dessert.
Oh, okay. You just eat a lot and have some more zucchini.
Yes,
that's the attitude.
exactly.
Well, I'm going to let you get started, and
Okay.
Let me back up here a little bit so you have room to cook, and just push me out of the way if I'm in the way.
Well, the first thing we want to do is to heat a heavy skillet, and then add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You want to take chicken pieces, and I have the dark meat of the chicken. It's
You
it's the
already browned
thighs.
these a little bit.
I've
but-
already browned these, but that's to shorten the time here.
Yeah.
Typically, you want to brown these for about 10 minutes. Add some salt, a little bit of pepper, a couple of cloves of garlic, and basically you want to just saute these until they turn a nice golden brown, and it takes about 10 minutes.
We have we have 3 butane burners going today, so that's why we're sort of in each other's way, I guess. You want to say it that way. He needs all the space he can get, and I'm just in the way. That's what it is.
So while the chicken is sautéing,
Now, this is the dark meat, right?
this is the dark meat. It's 6 pieces. It's the wings, thighs, and drumsticks.
Are wings considered dark meat?
Well, maybe not. It's kind of.
But you want the dark meat. It has more flavor, you said.
It has more flavor, and it stands up better to this kind of cooking
Okay.
because it's going to liquid will be added to it, and I find that the chicken breasts dry out when you do this kind of
It's
cooking.
true. Chicken breasts do dry out, and if you don't have a good sauce on your chicken, it's not going to be as. That's why a lot of people don't like it. Or they like chicken, but they pretend they like it because it's a good healthy food. But you'll say, well, I don't like dry chicken. Well, nobody does.
Actually, what I'm going to do with second is cook some chicken breasts, and I find that this way keeps them nice and juicy. So, and then we'll serve that at the end with the sauté.
So then you have your selection of what you want.
Yes. Okay. After the chicken has browned for a few minutes and it's turned nice golden brown, I like to add sliced onion, and you cook that.
Oh, they'll be coming to the studio in minutes with that smell.
So you cook that for several minutes until the onions wilted.
Sweat. Isn't that the
Sweat.
word now?
Yes. Well, that's the
onion sweat.
fancy word, I guess.
Yeah.
After the onion has sautéed, then you add the wet ingredients. So you can use white wine or chicken broth.
And that's chicken broth.
And that's, yeah.
Is that?
Well, it's white wine.
Oh,
but,
okay. I thought it was
yeah.
chicken broth. I'm
Well,
sorry.
yes. And then add tomatoes. Now, what I've done here is taken 6 canned tomatoes, chopped them up, removed the seeds, and kind of lightly drained them. After you add the wet ingredients, just cover it, turn the heat to low, and then we'll let that simmer. Typically, it takes about 30 minutes to 40 minutes for the chicken to be done. So
It'll be done
this
a
is
little
time
sooner.
compressed, yes.
Yeah. I'm so thrilled you know how to use these burners. One of the 3 burners that we have today belongs to Phil. Usually no one knows how to work them, and they're just precise. That's exactly what happens. I'm going to move this one just up here a little, and we can peek at it, and you'll have more room.
Okay. Now the next dish we're going to do is pan-roasted chicken breasts. So I have here 2 chicken breasts, and we want to lightly salt and pepper them.
both sides, or?
We'll do the other side when it's on the pan.
Okay, that's a good idea.
What I'm going to do is I have a heavy skillet, cast iron, or in this case it's a heavy aluminum skillet. It's a dry skillet, and I'm going to put it's already been heated to a high temperature, over a medium-high heat. And I'm going to add the chicken breast skin side down.
The pan you're going to use has to be able to go in the oven.
It has to be able to go into the oven. So if you have a pan with a plastic handle, it's probably not a good idea.
You'll have melted plastic. Doesn't smell good.
No.
Melted plastic does not smell good. And these had the skins on them, but they're boneless.
They're boneless breasts. Actually, I cut up the chicken. I like to buy a whole chicken because I feel you get a better value for it. The chicken breast costs about $4.79 a pound, and you can buy a whole chicken, on sale, and you can buy a whole chicken for $1.49 a pound or something like that. And I don't know, you have the carcass and whatnot that you can make stock or soup out of. So
Tell me what you were saying before about how chemists like to cook, or why chemists like to cook, you think.
I don't
Phil,
know why.
I don't know if you realized from the beginning, Credits is a chemist, and he feels that many of chemists like to cook because it's a lot like chemistry.
Well, chemistry is a matter of mixing materials and getting something new, and so that's what cooking is. It's mixing materials and hopefully getting something new and useful and good. So that's what we try to do.
But you like to cook, you said.
I love cooking. I like eating better.
Oh, but yet in order to eat, you have to cook.
You have to cook.
Maybe, or go out. So, and how long are you going to cook? Okay,
typically you do this over a high heat, and it's about 3 minutes. Then you can add the salt and pepper to the flesh side of the chicken breast. After the chicken is sautéed, basically you don't want to move it around because you want to get a nice crisp crust on the breast. So you can start to see, they're Kalamata olives. They're delicious.
They're salty, they're good.
You can start to see that the flesh begins to cook from the bottom. It turns kind of a whitish or translucent color. So at that point,
oh my!
You flip the chicken breasts over, and then you move the pan to the oven.
Can you make it over there? You okay?
I think so. Now we're going to leave those chicken breasts in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll check them in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, the next dish that we're going to do is a vegetable.
Oh, we're going to use this.
Yeah, we're going to use
sorry.
that.
I was trying to clean up for you. See, when you don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't do it.
Okay, again, we're going to heat a pan over medium-high heat. We're going to cook zucchini and red pepper. So the first thing do is I'm going to clean out the pepper, remove the seeds and the white fleshy part. And then I like to slice the pepper into approximately 1/4 inch slices.
You have a nice knife. Nice knives are important. Good knives are important, I should say.
Well, I don't know. If you enjoy doing something, having good tools actually makes the job go a lot nicer. So.
Well, Phil shared a secret with me today about his butane burner. He just bought it for the show to make sure he had 3 burners. So that's, people, you got to have a hobby.
Yep.
You got to have a hobby. And if hobby, and this part of this hobby is something useful. So you spend money on hobbies, so you spend money on equipment.
Yep.
And
That's right.
these are wonderful. I can't stress, and this is not a commercial for butane burners. They never paid us or anything, but they are the best to have around. Even if, like in the winter, and you have a power outage. You can
Yes,
at least
exactly.
cook, or you can at least see to do something because it gives a lot of light.
Actually, it will be very useful because unfortunately we have an electric stove in our house, and so we have lost our power several times. So it will be nice for that.
You're new to the area, or not,
Yeah,
sort of new.
Sort of new, yes. We moved to Philadelphia area about 3 years ago, and actually it's the best place that we've lived.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Well,
it is.
see, that's a good sign. Everyone's always cutting this area up. And you came from the Midwest originally?
Well, no, we were born in Massachusetts.
Oh, that's right, you
and
said that, I'm sorry.
Went to Iowa State for 5 years,
That's
so I lived
Midwest,
out there.
isn't
That's
it?
Midwest.
There is no Iowa, you know, it's a figment of somebody's imagination. I always say that.
So I've added approximately 2 tablespoons of olive oil to the pan. I'm going to lightly crush and peel a clove of garlic, put that into the pan.
I love red peppers.
And then add the bell pepper, red bell pepper,
I like green bell peppers.
and green bell peppers are good. But I like the color contrast with the red and the green zucchini.
I like green bell pepper a lot, but you know when you roast bell peppers, the red ones.
Oh,
the green
much,
ones look,
yeah.
they don't look as nice as the red ones.
Okay. So while those are sautéing, I'm going to slice the zucchini into.
You use a good olive oil, I can smell.
Yeah, this is an extra virgin olive oil, and I prefer that because it has a finer flavor.
Oh, I know you can smell. There's nothing greater than hard bread of some kind, either French or Italian, and a good olive oil to dip it in instead of butter.
Yes, I agree.
That's
Or if you get good bread, you can put it onto, now that it's summertime, I used a time reference, sorry.
That's okay.
You can grill the bread and lightly on a charcoal grill or on another grill. You can rub it with a little bit of garlic and then put extra virgin olive oil on it.
I love
absolute-
bruschetta.
yeah.
Which is, of course, the tomatoes and all added on, but
So I'm cutting the zucchini into sticks approximately a quarter
they're
inch.
a nice size. I have to tell you, I'm not a real fan of zucchini. I feel there's probably 4 plants in the entire world supplying everybody with the zucchini they need.
Yeah.
They're very abundant, and I don't know why. I don't hate them. I like them better raw like this, than like a cucumber,
okay.
than cooked. Everyone cooks them with tomatoes and basil and a couple other things, and it's sort of boring.
Well, I like them sautéed. Rather, when you put the liquid things like tomatoes, I find that it kind of steams it, and it does change the character.
Yeah. Can I mix this for you?
Okay, well, thank you.
Have to earn my keep here. Well, these are getting nice. I don't know how you want them, but they're getting nice for the way I would like them.
So they cook about a minute, basically as long as it takes to get the zucchini done. Actually, it's better to have all of this done ahead of time.
Yeah, and then just put it together.
The French have a term for it, mise en place, everything in its place before you start. So.
Well, and the Orientals do the same thing. They all have everything chopped and for everything to go in at the last minute. It hardly takes any time at all to do Oriental cooking. It just takes 6 hours to get ready.
That's right. So now I'm just going to add all the zucchini to the pan.
No one that knows me will believe I'm eating zucchini, but I am. You need other things to flavor zucchini. It really has no flavor.
That's right. You know, I forgot the marjoram, which I'm going to add. Doesn't really matter.
Shall we move out of your way?
No, thank you. Okay, so that'll take 5-10 minutes to cook. At the end of the cooking, when they're done, I then salt and pepper it. If you add salt before, it wilts it pulls the water out and it wilts them.
That does it with a lot of things. like when you do fresh cucumbers and onions and you salt it
Mm-hmm.
and leave it in the dish for an hour and come back in the
That's-
refrigerator and all
oh.
the liquid is there.
That's
Pulls
right.
all the liquid out. Okay, what are we going to do next?
Okay, now I guess we're,
We have about, yeah, we're halfway through.
okay, I think the next thing is to start the pasta.
Okay, you
'Cause
use
that's
dry
gonna-
pasta?
Dry pasta. So we have, what, about 15 minutes left or so?
Just about.
Okay.
Well, if we don't have the pasta's not finished by the end of the show, we'll just finish it. We're pretty casual around here.
Okay.
Food eventually always gets done, most cases. What do I smell? The margarine.
The marjoram.
Yeah, all of a
It's-
sudden it came up.
It's a beautiful herb.
Yeah, that is what it is. Okay,
So
what else? Oh,
The final part for for that chicken saute is you cook that maybe, the 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and in the last portion of the cooking, you want to add the capers and the black olives. So I have here Kalamata olives, which get roughly chopped.
I like capers. I think sometimes you need to acquire a taste for them, but I like them.
Well, they have that kind of salty, vinegary kind of taste, and actually it goes very nicely with tomatoes and marjoram. So I have here have boiling pasta. I have here 6 to 8 Kalamata olives that have been roughly chopped, and about 2 tablespoons of capers that have been drained.
The capers usually come in a little bottle,
Yes.
okay? And they're narrow.
narrow.
For whatever,
There's this food mart up in northern New Jersey that they carry like a large
they?
size, yeah. And so
they
it's-
must use them, the people in that area use them a lot
Maybe.
when they're cooking, I assume.
So I bought a jar for
We put a
myself.
big jar- of course,
Because it's
you
easy,
always-
you just go in and scoop. Those little jars are difficult,
Oh, I know, it's hard. Sometimes you just about get a teaspoon
Yeah.
in, if you're lucky.
if you're lucky.
And if you're not, then you gotta use a cocktail spoon or something.
Okay.
I don't take your job.
Okay.
But I feel so useful when I can sit and
Yeah.
stir. Now, they're going to, the capers and the olives are gonna go in this,
They're going to go into the chicken saute, and I'm going to add them now, actually.
and then you get it a little bit out of your way.
Stir the pasta, make sure it doesn't stick to the pot.
And I'll move this up and over for you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, my.
And then just give it a little bit of a stir.
You know what, I'm gonna try to get a couple capers. And are we able to get them in this big dish? It sounds funny. Down here, see if the camera can pick up what a caper is and how small it is. I'll put it next to the spoon. I guess we're not gonna get that, are we? Okay.
I need to check on the chicken breasts.
Excuse me.
They're done.
You do it? Okay. Our limited facility, we can't do it. We have a wonderful facility, but every once in a while, I ask for something that's impossible to do.
Now the chicken breasts are done. We'll just let those rest.
Oh my, look how they almost look like something else. Fish.
Fish?
Yeah. Oh, everything smells so great.
I love the flavors of the Mediterranean, and that's
Yeah.
basically the peppers and the olives, the capers and the tomatoes, the marjoram. It's
And it's ironic, it's Mediterranean, and look at the Greeks that cook with this, and the Italians cook with this, and the French, depending on what part of France.
That's
They all
right.
use these in little different combinations.
That's right.
I wonder if there's anything to do with the ends of zucchinis.
Compost.
Oh, do you do that?
I can do that, yeah.
Oh, you're really into it.
Well,
Do you live on a farm?
no, we have a small suburban lot, but we do like to vegetable garden on it. So
Oh, I'm going to miss my vegetable garden. I don't think I'm having one again this year. And I miss the tomatoes and the basil. And the idea of growing them and messing in the dirt. And look what I produced. It was like,
having homegrown tomatoes, it's just there's nothing comparable to it.
I like
And,
the Roma.
yeah.
They're my favorites. Because I like to make the bruschetta, and I like the smaller size of
Yes.
them.
Mhm.
Okay, what are we going to do next here?
Well, we're kind of in between.
We're kind
We're
of
waiting
in
for
between.
this to cook, the chicken to cook, and kind of in the pasta. The only way that I figured I know how to do this is to
Eat it.
Eat it.
I mean, that or they claim if you throw it up against the refrigerator and it sticks, it's done. But I've never done that because I can't, where my refrigerator is, I can't get back far enough to throw it. If those of you that have seen my old shows, Downtown Kitchen, which was filmed out of my kitchen, it was such a narrow area for where the kitchen was and the cameraman was that I swore in the hot weather, like his skin was stuck to the wall across from me. It was a very small area, and there's no room to back up and throw your pasta anyway. So we have this cooking. And Phil has very kindly given us his recipes. And so if any of you want them, you can write in and we'll send you a copy. And the graphic at the end will tell you where to write to Look Who's Cooking at the Post Office Box 1660 here in Norristown.
Okay.
So what are we doing now?
Well, we're still waiting for the pasta.
You're still
So-
waiting for the pasta? Well, can we move
So-
on and then the pasta can catch up?
Okay.
That's okay with you? Or do you mix the
Yeah,
pasta
actually,
within it?
what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the chicken from the pan, plate that up, and then we sauce the pasta with the pan sauce.
Oh, okay.
And so we can. These look done,
They do. They're not-
and so I think I'll plate them. Add a little bit of salt, a little bit of
You can salt
fresh-
my hand, I don't care.
I'm gonna.
Pepper is just right. Why don't you bring that over?
Oh.
No. Let me help you. Let me get the plate,
Okay.
and we're going to put it over here where they can
Sorry.
get a good shot of it. You don't have to be sorry.
Okay.
It's hard to know sometimes which camera.
Which one's on?
Yeah.
I think the pasta is just about done. So we'll drain that.
Are you finished with
Let's
the
see,
oven?
we need- Yes, I am.
I'm going to shut it off. It's a convection oven, and it makes a lot of noise.
Now drain the pasta.
Now, see, he's doing it the right way, away from you. Remember that one time I said
Yeah.
I was draining the pasta and it was towards me? I said, do not do it this way. I'm going to tell
Ideally,
you, Bill
actually-
you came so prepared. He came with everything. He knew about the pour-off. He knew, I don't know.
Okay. Now we're going to remove the chicken pieces from the sauce. Ideally, this would have already been done. You drain the pasta and immediately it goes into the
Well,
sauce.
you
But
want me to help you do anything?
no. I'm going to slice the slice the chicken breast and add that.
I don't know, it smells wonderful.
Move
That's
the
good leaving it
marjoram.
whole, you can just mush it out.
And you take some of a bit of the sauce, drape it onto the chicken pieces.
The dish is beautiful. That's the first thing I saw when they were still in the car when I greeted them was the dish.
I'm going to slice the chicken breasts.
I like dishes and pottery and glass things and
Actually, Gene and I, we do sort of collect glass and
Do you?
ceramic type items. It
Yeah.
is a Okay, the chicken.
okay. Now we need pasta.
Now we need the pasta, and I'm going to drain that
Bow ties.
into the sauce.
Here you go.
Thank you.
I'm only here to assist you, not to do your job.
And then you briefly toss and cook the pasta in the sauce to help the flavors infuse. In fact, you kind of want to slightly undercook the pasta and then finish the cooking in
Yeah.
this sauce. Can I name famous chefs?
Sure.
Okay, that's a trick from Mario Batali.
We know Mario. He only needs longer pants.
Yeah.
He always wears those shorts all the time.
So,
Listen, while you're finishing up so we get everything on, you can keep cooking and doing what you need to do. And I really
Okay.
want to thank you very
Well,
much
thank
for
you, Betty.
bringing half your kitchen. And I want to give to you, this is my cookbook. My
Oh,
last,
thank you.
last cookbook. 3 cups of yesterday. So I'll put that over in your stuff and you
Okay,
can
thank
take
you.
it home with you. And if any of you want the book, you can get it at the post office box. The graphic is at the end where you can get the recipes from. So why don't you finish
Okay.
up what you're doing? Because
So
you
now
have
we're gonna-
to taste it.
now we're going to plate up the pasta.
Nice bowl too. That big white bowl's nice.
To finish this, I like to add a little bit of freshly chopped parsley.
That's regular or Italian?
This is the Italian parsley, the flat leaf parsley.
I like parsley. I like regular parsley too. A lot of people don't, but I really do. I say
So-
that all the time, how much I like parsley, but I do.
And we're going to add a little bit of fresh ground pepper, probably a little bit of salt, but there's some Parmesan cheese here.
Ah, of course.
And just grate that.
Oh.
Bon appetit.
I'm going to taste this. And while we're all tasting, we're going to say this is Betty Banjack and Phil Connolly for Look Who's Cooking. We'll see you soon now. Bye.